first off, what made you want to do this? And then out of that, what does this whole thing mean to you?
Well, being in the industry as long as I've been in the industry, I've gone into a lot of different communities and seen their hallway or their wall, if you will, of honor, and it consisted of maybe a picture of an eagle and a bunch of photographs of residents, and which is exactly what we had here to begin with. And when I came in to this position, into this community, after our first resident, who was a vet, passed away, and we took his picture off the wall, it just left like an empty hole in me. And then right shortly after that, we had 2 more pass away. And again, it was taking their pictures off the wall. And that just can't be the end of what they did for us, you know? These people served and they fought for our country, and they gave us the freedoms that we have today. If it weren't for them, where would we be? And I felt that they just deserved more than that. And that's when the passion started.
Okay. So how long has the full Hall of Honor been, I guess, completed or set up? How long have you been involved with doing this?
This has been a project since about the 1st of June.
Okay.
And this was the first thing to get done, was the flag. And not very many people thought that that was a really good idea to paint a flag on the wall. But it's exactly what we needed to get it started. And then, so it was right around the 1st of June, and it has slowly evolved since then. I have been to so many swap meets and secondhand places, talked to residents, trying to get as much artifacts as I can to portray them in the light that they deserve to be portrayed in.
So, what kind of responses have you gotten from this? From either the residents themselves or family members that come in and visit? What do they think about it?
They love it. They just love it. They love walking by and seeing pictures of their family members. The residents love walking by and just reading the different pictures, the little captions under the pictures, and the different posters. They love seeing the advertisements from the past and all of those things. And I think that it helps them to kind of process the things that they had to go through, you know, to know that they're not forgotten. That, you know, the wars that our country has been in are real, and they're very much of who we are today. So without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. And their sacrifice, it just needs to be honored more than it is.
Since right now it's currently mostly the World Wars, is it going to, and I guess some of this is sort of a generational thing, but is it your intention to have it continue for the later conflicts as, I suppose, you know, as weird as it is to say, I suppose as they move into such homes, but like Korea and Vietnam, will that kind of expand to cover those?
Absolutely, absolutely. Some of it does already cover Korean War, and one of the ladies that is on our wall right now, the lady over there, she's from the Korean War.
Oh, okay.
And so we have her father represented from World War I.
Oh, okay.
And she comes from very, very many generations of military.
Okay.
So yeah, as the generations go through, I plan on this never ending.
Okay.
It's never going to be finished.
Just a little bit about your background. Lori said that you were in the Korean conflict, and then from the photos in the Air Force. So if you'd like to, maybe a little bit of background there, just for context.
Okay. In 1951, right after high school, my girlfriend came up and talked me into going into the service with her.
Okay.
And so I went to, and they ask you, what would you like to be? And I said, I'd like to be a physical therapist. And so they put me in Texas in 4 years, and I was in physical therapy the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And enjoyed it. I mean, there was a lot to do, a lot to learn, and but I'm sure glad I did this. Even though I didn't move anyplace else, I still felt like I was of service to the service. You know, some of the boys come in and they had to be exercised and things like this.
Another question that I had, can you tell us a little bit about your father, your family heritage? I can tell that you're really proud of that, as you should be.
I am.
But I'd love to hear about that a little bit from you.
Okay. My dad, let me see, it's 1918, I guess, he went in and he went overseas to France.
Okay.
And he was with the cavalry, which is the with the mules and the horses, and that was his service there.
Okay.
And yes, I am proud of my dad. And anyway, he came back and found Mom, and you know. Okay.
And then he went into World War II.
Oh, that old World War II, World War One. And that needs to be in there too. Yeah.
Right.
World War One. And he was in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell him a little bit about the art.
Oh yes, this medal here he got for being in this just service. You have that paper yet too, I think, to get in. And this one is interesting because it's he was called. Your number will probably be in the mail or in this call. You're actually engaged in agricultural pursuit, and which is to be deferred if you have claim for other family members. But Dad went in, and he wasn't on a farm at that time. So, yeah, very interesting though that I do have that piece of information.
Yeah.
And then we just, they made this up for me so that, you know, it just tells about the year that he was actually in, 18 to 19.
Okay.
So 1918.
So that part about the European Russia, was he in the peacekeeping after the war too, where the Allies went in and tried to stop the communist revolution? Or
do you remember what that paper said?
I was just curious. Sorry.
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Okay.
I can show him the paper.
Yeah, I have the paper that tells about the
Right.
that, and I'm sure that would be in that. So okay.
And then the question that I had about how do you, and this is a really open-ended question, the best way I could phrase is, I guess, what does this Hall of Honor mean to you?
To walk up and down here is just an honor to see these men and women. There's only one other one, but they really did service to America. I'm proud to be an American. Yeah.
All right, I guess you go back to 1944. 45 was when we got out of high school here at Camas and went into the Navy and went directly aboard ship in Everett, Washington, and went into the South Pacific. 2 landings, 3 landings really. We initial landing at Okinawa, and the second one, and then we went into Camaretto, another island close by.
Okay.
We did another landing there.
Okay.
And we belonged to the, what they call the magic carpet after the war was over. This is an attack transport. And we shuttled troops back and forth to various islands and made a couple of quick trips back to the States and back again to get the guys back home.
What does having this mean to you as a veteran, as somebody who's taken part in helping create it?
It's been great. Lori's done a great job. My friends that have come in here and seen this all had high grades for it. And it's kind of an emotional thing. Yeah. I don't know, I walk down through these halls and bring back a lot of memories. Some good ones and some bad ones. But I think it's a part of our history that we should maintain forever in this country.
They're getting worse every day.
Oh. Well, thank you for coming down here and just being willing to talk. I appreciate it a lot.
Well, I'm glad to do it for you.
Thank you. So I guess I've done this with a couple other people that I talked to. Just if you'd like to give me a little bit of a sense of your background, you know, when you served, just to sort of place you in the story of all this.
Well, oh gosh, it's not finished either. All this. Yeah. Okay. I joined the Army. I left school my sophomore year. I figured I could do more in the service than I could finish in school. I could take care of later. Well, anyway, I joined the Army in 1943.
Okay.
And I did my basic training at Fort Bragg, North Carolina on 155 howitzers. And I went from there to Camp Meade, Maryland, and then they shipped me overseas from New York.
Okay.
I went to Liverpool, England. And then they shipped me out of there up to Northern Ireland, and that's where I joined the 2nd Infantry Division.
Okay.
We spent our winter there in 1943, pulling maneuvers and like that, getting ready for the... Then when spring came, we went down to England, and we was down near Barry, Wales.
Okay.
And on June 9th, 3 days after the main part of the invasion force went, of course I was with a big gun, so that they don't send you in first, they send the infantry in first. And I finally landed in France on June 9th, 1943. From there we went down through Brittany, and we took the city of Brest because the Germans had submarines in that river down there. And the Germans were still holding out there. So my outfit and the 2nd Infantry Division and the 29th Infantry Division went with us, and we took the city of Brest. After the city of Brest, we moved up along the southern coast to get up into northern France, so to join the other outfits that had, when we broke out of the hedgerow country in France there. Some units, mechanized units, they took off across France.
Okay.
And so we joined up with them up in Belgium.
Okay.
I was hauling ammunition. I was an explosive.
Okay.
I hauled explosives and powder and anything to do with the guns. So then we went, after the Battle of the Bulge, I was in the Battle of the Bulge, and after we won that battle, we went headed toward the Rhine River,
Okay.
and they had blown up at one end of the Remagen Bridge there in Germany, so we couldn't get our equipment across. And the engineers come up and put pontoon bridges in and across the river. And after they got them put in, we went across the river and we finished going up through Germany. And then we fought our way down into Luxembourg
Okay.
and Czechoslovakia.
Oh.
We ended up in Czechoslovakia.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I've had a long journey.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. For quite a few years, when they were thinking about building the World War II memorial, there was one woman that put a hold on it. She said that land was sacred land there in the mall where in Washington. And she held that up. And so I got word from my division that they were going to try to get a monument built there. And then when I got word of it from my division, I took and started sending money. That was in 1949. Then they finally got permission from a judge. He stopped this woman from holding this up. She says it's sacred land. Say, what's more sacred? Oh, listen.
So every year, every paycheck, sent money.
every month,
Yeah.
I sent money to help build this monument. I'm a life member of the World War II Memorial, and this memorial was built of the 500,000 young
Men and women who lost their lives.
yes in the war. And I went. So I guess that's about it as far as that goes. But after I came here, I was honored with the country of France. The president of France ordered that any veteran that was in France for so much time on the invasion, that they would, if they were still living, they would get this Legion of Honor medal.
Oh.
The highest honor that France gives out. And so I got a letter from the Consulate General of San Francisco that I was going to receive that medal. So they told me in a letter, I got everything down. This is hard for me because I was to contact the Consulate General of Seattle.
Okay.
French Consulate General. And I was standing right there by the dining room door when I got this letter, and I had opened it up, and I was reading it. And I said Kendall, what's her,
Michelle.
Michelle Kendall. I said, look what I just got, I'm in trouble. I'm supposed to contact the Consulate General and set up a thing here to have a ceremony to award me the medal. Well, she said, give me that paper, she said. And away she went down the hallway here. And I guess she was looking for a Shima. And then Shima took care of it all. She took care of all the details. These are help from staff here from the home. So they got that set up, and on February 19th, 2015, the Consulate General drove down from Seattle, and they had the ceremony in here. She's the one, she told me about what she wanted to do. And I thought that was elegant, because they're honoring my buddies that didn't make it home. And she's worked real hard, Lori has, to get this set up. And I love her for that. Yeah. And I check it out every morning. I check the wall every morning to see if anything new's been added. And there's most generally something's been added somewhere. So this means the end of my journey right here. This is the end of my journey. Yeah. When you get to be 93 years old, you know, it's been a long one. Yeah.